Hi guys, Jacob from Team TYC. We're here with Josh at Dragon's Den. What do you got for us, Josh?
Today I am bringing you my Dark Irregular build.
Alright. How do you like this?
So far it's worked pretty well for me. I've had a little bit of problems with consistency, when it comes to fucking like getting grade locked and stuff. It's a little bit of a problem finding the grade 3s I need when I need them. More specifically the new SCHARHROT, but that's a little bit of... It's not as big of a deal as I'm making it out to be, but it happens more often than I would like it to at the same time. So.
Okay. So, shall we get right into this?
I would like to, start with the starter. It is the ranged singular. It's about the same as you would probably expect with this. Forerunner ability, darkness, when it boosts, it gets +2 as long as you move the card with the soul. And then when your G-unit strides, you can put it and all grade 2 or higher, right? No, grade 1 or greater rear guards into the soul, and then draw 2 cards.
Alright.
So, pretty fucking nice.
Soul builders.
It's all the deck needs, honestly. It's the only thing it requires. Grade 3, 4 copies of the new SCHARHROT, and then 2 Glazed Vampire. SCHARHROT's pretty self-explanatory. On stride, soul charge 2. If you have 4 more units of darkness in the soul, your opponent retires a unit on their field. And then it's generation break 2 when it's on the rear guard circle, or Vanguard, if you weren't able to stride. It's basically a 16k Silent Tom, which is phenomenal. And Glazed Vampire is alternate ride target, which I would prefer to have on the rear guard circle. I only use this effect once, if at all. When I call it, Counterblast 1, look at top 5, move any unit that has the darkness ability from the top 5 that I find into the soul, and then he gets +1000 for each card to move to the soul this way.
Okay.
And that's the only reason I run him in here. I almost never really use the other one at all.
Okay. So if you needed to run 6 copies of the one, would you?
6 copies of SCHARHROT?
Yeah.
Hell the fuck yes. But the old SCHARHROT isn't really that good, especially compared to the one who scatters Sin.
Yeah.
Just because he's a fucking 16k Silent Tom.
That's fair.
He just gets +5k on the attack, and your opponent can't guard with grade 0s. Which is fucking ridiculous.
Alright.
He's scary as shit, dude. Grade 2s, running 4 copies of Demented Executioner.
Alright.
When you call him, you look at the top 7 cards, find 1 unit with a darkness ability from among them, move it into the soul, and then darkness, once per turn, you can counterblast 1, he gets +5k.
Pretty good.
4 copies of Brennan Vampire, one of, if not the best, grade 2 in the deck, besides Demented Executioner, in my opinion. Darkness, counterblast 1 when he attacks a Vanguard. He gets +1000 power for every card in your soul. And then at the end of the battle, he moves himself to the soul and you draw a card.
2 for 1.
Yeah, pretty much. I run him at 4 because I think he's too good not to play at 4. There was a grade 1 I was debating I should bump to 4 copies or not, but if I did, I'd have to get rid of him or 2 of the other ones in here that I'm still kind of debating on. But it hasn't really been that much of an issue for me yet.
Alright.
3 copies of Flying Librarian. Fan-fucking-tastic card. Generation Break 1, when you call her, Counterblast 1. Look at... Oh no, you just Soul Charge 2, and then if the number of cards in your soul is, what, 10 or more? 6 or more you draw, and then if the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, you countercharge 1. So if you have 10 or more cards in your soul, her effect is basically free, and you get +2 to soul and +1 to hand.
Nice. Gets all your resources back.
Hell yeah. And then 2 copies of Covetous Succubus. Basically kind of the same thing as Flying Librarian. However, she is Counterblast 1, Soul Charge 1, and then if it's 6 or more, Countercharge 1, and then 10 or more, draw 2, discard 1.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's all the grade 2s?
That's all the grade 2s.
Alright.
Grade 1 lineup is 4 copies of Weretiger Jaeger.
Jaeger.
Best fucking grade 1 on the deck.
Because it's stride fodder?
Best fucking grade 1 on the deck. It's stride fodder. However, when he's moved to the soul, you can counterblast 1 to draw a card. And then if you have 6 or more cards in the soul, you can counterblast 1, soul charge 1, discard a card, move him from the soul into the hand. Wow. And then when he's in the hand, he can be used as stride fodder.
That's fucking broken, actually.
Again, best grade 1 in the deck. 2 copies of Ballistic Vampire, and this is the grade 1 I was thinking about bumping up to 4. When I guard with him in Generation Break 1, I can choose a card from my hand, move it into the soul, and then choose a normal unit from my soul and move it back into my hand. So if I have a Enigmatic Assassin in my hand,
Okay.
I can use his skill, move the Assassin to the soul, and then grab like a Brennan Vampire or a Covetous Succubus or whatever the fuck I decide I need at that given moment.
It's pretty good.
Hell yeah. 2 copies of Covetous Succubus of Pure Love.
Also Stride Fodder.
SCHARHROT Stride Fodder, yeah. Deck runs 6 Stride Fodders because she's not that good, but where Tiger Jaeger is, and I need to run him at 4 because he's fucking busted.
Alright.
Also kind of a low grade 3 count too, so. And then 4 copies of Closet Balloon. He's the G-Guard that when there's a copy of him in the drop zone, you can draw one. And if you have Darkness active, he gets plus 2k when he's boosting.
It's pretty good.
Or on the field at all, so he's an 8k.
It's pretty good.
But I never use the 8k ability on him. He's only there for extra draw power.
And he's a PG.
And he's a PG. PGs are important, guys.
Alright.
Now for my mountain of fucking
Grade
triggers.
zeros.
Grade zeros, yeah. I'm running 2 copies of Enigmatic Assassin.
Alright.
Thinking about running him at 4. Not entirely sure yet, but 2 has been working out pretty well for me. When he's in the soul, and I have Darkness active, at the beginning of the attack phase, I can pull him out of the soul, and then he gets plus 15k, as long as... Well, at the beginning of the attack step, number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, call it to RC, and then if you do, it gets plus 5k on a turn. Then the number of cards in your soul is 15 or more, he gets plus 10k.
It's pretty good.
So, if you have at least 15, he gets
That becomes a 20k grade 0.
20k grade 0 that you can either boost or attack with.
And there's 2 of those in the same
Throw
column,
this
that makes it big.
motherfucker behind SCHARHROT on a Bloodermouse turn and just give all the trigger effects to him. A motherfucker is gonna die.
That's a lot.
That's a way of
That's
describing
fucking...
So, someone is about to get their ass destroyed.
Some poor man is about to lose his life.
To a grade 0, no less.
Well, when he's boosting the new
yeah.
SCHARHROT, because he gets another plus 5k on the attack.
Just knowing it's a 20k booster on its own is not okay.
4 copies of One-Eyed Succubus. It's the SCHARHROT trigger. Shouldn't really explain this. When Vanguard with SCHARHROT's attacking, if it's on the field, move to soul, plus 5k to Van, draw 1.
Alright.
4 copies of Dark Knight of Nightmareland.
Alright, so 8 crits so far.
8 crit, yeah. That's all I'm running in the deck. When he's on the RC, you can move him into the soul and give a unit on the field plus 3k.
Alright.
Margal in crit form. 4 copies of Monochrome of Nightmareland. This is how I usually get all my resources back, because for some fucking reason I always end up with a goddamn cat in my goddamn hand. Skill specifically reads, Generation Break 1, put it on top of the deck and shuffle the deck. Soul Charge 1, if the number of cards in your soul is 6 or more, choose a card from your damage zone, turn face up, and then if your number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, draw a card. So I usually only have him on my field to use the effect when I have 10 or more. That way I can just move him back into the deck, Soul Charge 1,
And then
counter
get a
charge,
trigger.
and then draw 1.
Alright.
And then last for the grade 0s, 4 heals because I need to live. It's the Vincent one because I'm running Vincent in the G zone, so getting skills off are important.
Yeah.
When it's discarded from my hand for the cost of playing the G-Guard Vincent, I just move him into the soul and then draw 1.
So not only do you
draw
get a
one,
G,
just move him into the soul.
so not only do you get a G Guardian, but you also get additional darkness fuel.
Darkness on my opponent's turn doesn't necessarily matter as much. It's just the extra +1 to soul that kind of matters when it comes to Vincent.
Okay.
Yeah. Under the G-Zone,
G-Zone.
I'm running 4 copies of the one who splits darkness, Bloodermouse.
Bloodermouse.
Yeah. Card is super fucking good. It's what Dark Irregulars needed, honestly. That and Tybalt, but I haven't found a way to put Tybalt in the deck yet. I'm trying to keep it pure darkness for now.
Alright.
His skill reads, once per turn, GB2, Darkness, Counterblast 1, choose a face-down card with the same card name as his unit from your G-Zone, turn to face up, and then choose 2 cards from your hand, put them into the soul. When he attacks, if the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, pay the cost. Return all grade 0s from your rearguard. Yeah, rearguard and soul to the deck, shuffle the deck, choose 2 of your units and get plus 5k until end of turn. And then at the end of the battle, this unit stands and gets drive -2.
That's pretty
That's
big.
really good.
That just recycles all of your triggers. Because you fucking feel like it, and then restand.
Busted. Busted.
Busted!
Busted makes me feel good.
I'll put him there. 2 copies of Abominable One, Gilderai.
Gilderai.
He's still good. He's still fucking good.
What does he do?
Counterblast 1, not Counterblast 1, once per turn, I mean. Choose a face-down card with his name in your G-zone, turn to face up. If the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, he gets plus 10k. And then if the number of cards in your soul is 15 or more, until end of turn, he gets auto VC when he attacks a Vanguard. Until the end of the battle, your opponent cannot call grade 1 or greater cards from hand to GC, and the number of face-up cards in G-zone is 2 or more, he gets crit plus 1.
So, okay. That's, so no
He
PGs
swings-
for your, no PGs for your opponent.
No PGs. No...
No PGs.
He
No
swings
intercepts.
Base 36, no PGs, and he also gets plus 1 crit.
It's powerful. It's big.
It's threatening.
Drop your hand or die.
One Sabreeze,
Sabreeze.
because we're in G era.
That's fair.
That Shrine is important.
Yeah.
One Steeped in Sin, one
SCHARHROT.
copy. I don't really feel the need to run him at more than one of. One copy gets the job done.
Alright.
Its skill reads GB2 Darkness, Counterblast 1, when he attacks, pay the cost, put all of your rear guards into the soul. Your opponent's field is retired, except for the Vanguard, obviously, and then he gets plus 10,000 power, and your opponent can't call Sentinels for the attack.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Sentinels,
Sentinels
or grade
specifically,
1?
Sentinels specifically. It specifically lists the Sentinels.
Okay.
Yeah. One copy of Rebellious Retainer of Fresh Blood, Frederick. He's usually a strat I go into most often. That's not Legarius, but I'm gonna get to him.
Alright.
When he attacks, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, not when he attacks, it's an act. Choose a card from your hand, put it into the soul. He gets plus 1,000 for each card in your soul, and then if he gets plus 10k with this effect, 2 of your units on the rear guard get plus 5.
Alright.
So if I end up with an assassin in hand, I just throw him to the soul. Get him where he needs to be. Legarius is usually my first stride. Counterblast 1 once per turn, choose a unit face up. Well, choose a unit in the G zone and flip it face up. I usually go with Sabreeze if I don't really have any other options, because everything else in my G zone is kind of important. Soul Charge 3. Then if the number of... for each different grade among the cards that was Soul Charge, choose one of your rear guards to get plus 5k. And then if a unit with a Darkness ability was Soul Charge this way, choose a grade 3 from your soul, add it back to hand. You're more than likely going to hit something with Darkness. Most of the deck has Darkness in it. So, I don't know what to tell you. It's really that Soul Charge 3, plus 5k to 2 units on board, at least, usually, at least in my experience. And then adding a grade 3 back to hand is why I have him in here. He sets up really nice, especially on first stride.
Okay.
And then the last G unit is Mask of Demonic Frenzy, Eroticus. He's really just in here in case my opponent denies me Counterblast. He's pretty good, but I don't really use him a lot.
Okay.
I usually go into Frederick, if anything. Darkness, when he attacks, Soul Charge 2. If the number of cards in your soul is 6 or more until the end of the battle, he gets auto when the attack hits. Your opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards and retires it, and the number of face-up cards in your soul is 15 or more. This unit will get plus 1,000 for every card in your soul until the end of the battle.
Okay.
So, it's not bad.
If you
Then
needed to go for endgame, would you ever go into him if your soul was, like, really thick?
I would rather go into Blittermouse, Gilderai, or the one Seeped in Sin first.
For going for endgame?
For going for endgame, yeah. Blittermouse pushes. He fills my deck back up with triggers. There's no reason not to go into him. Gilderai is there in case I have been paying attention to my opponent and what they're getting.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact they don't have G-Guards.
Okay.
Or I'll just go into SCHARHROT, because Sentinels are kind of a threat
Okay.
when it comes to guarding. I have actually killed people with Frederick a lot. Surprisingly. I have no idea why. I can't explain that shit.
Don't explain it, just thank the Lord.
Pretty much.
Alright.
As for the G-Guards, I'm running 5. First one I usually use is False Dark Wings, Agrat Bat Malat, because one, that name is fucking top tier.
Agrat Bat Malat.
Agrat Bat Malat. And secondly, she's pretty generic. Soul Charge 2 for 5k.
It's pretty good.
It gets me where I need to be. Then I run 1 copy of Saint Germain, 1 copy of however the fuck you pronounce this motherfucker.
Sabmak.
Sabmak.
Cryptic Knowledge Sabnak.
I never go into these.
Okay.
These are flip fodder for my 2 Vincents. And that's it.
Alright, what does Vincent do?
Vincent's actually kind of fucking busted. He says GB1, choose a face down G Guardian from your G zone, turn to face up.
Being the Saint Germain or the Sabak.
Yeah, pretty much. When he's placed on the Guardian Circle, for every 5 cards in your soul, he gets plus 5k.
Okay.
Shield after you soul charge 1. So, medical studies, when you call him, move him to soul, and then soul charge 1 off of his skill.
Nice.
So that's a plus 2, and it usually pushes me over 15, closer to 20 sometimes when I go into him. I haven't pushed 25k yet with him, but I've gone 20 a lot.
Okay.
So he makes big numbers to guard against other big numbers.
Okay.
And that's why these 2 are just here for fucking flip fodder, because I have no other use for him.
That's fair.
Mhm.
That's fair. Alright, so that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, now, Josh, any final words about your Dark Irregulars? About SCHARHROT?
Deck's a lot of fun. If you're looking for a deck to play that's kinda unexpected at a lot of times, as long as you're okay with soul charging triggers a lot, you can do that. You can build this deck. It's fine, honestly.
Alright.
Yeah, just
Alright.
people who, if you're mad at the world, play Dark Irregulars. You're gonna end up soul charging, like, everything you fucking need in a turn is gonna go into the soul when you fucking soul charge. I'm not fucking stressing that, but the deck is still a lot of fun, and it does have ways to work around that aspect of itself.
Alright.
So,
Well, thank you. Alright. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if you want to. And as always, we will see you guys in the next video.
can I eat now?
Yes.
Awesome.